Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the end of Band Camp 2016 Family Performance. We are glad to have you all here. The crowd gets bigger every year. It's fantastic to see you. My name is Tom Bankert. I'm the director of this wonderful band and these wonderful kids that we spent the last 2 weeks and 90 hours out of the last 2 weeks with. Before we start our program, you need to be so proud of the kids that are on the field. Their work ethic, their dedication, their time, their energy. It's been a hot 2 weeks. All of those things, they have been fantastic. It has been a 2 weeks full of work, drama-free, just all about the activity and all about being with their friends and just killing it rehearsal after rehearsal. So you should be so proud of everyone on the field. There's a lot of people I'm going to introduce tonight so you can start to see who's been working with your kids and as you see them throughout the whole season. I'd like to start by introducing the student leadership. These are the people that met before band camp. They've been leading rehearsals, they've been leading sectionals, they've been leading drill, they've been doing everything that leaders do, and I tell them every year, it doesn't matter what I do, without them, this band doesn't run. And the reason why these 2 weeks have been so successful is that we have a fantastic group of leaders ranging from sophomores up to seniors, the great group of kids that work together and work to make everyone better. So I'd like to acknowledge and introduce every one of them, and they all deserve individual applause. So as I call your name, reminder, please just step out, big wave and smile. We're going to start with the clarinet section. Clarinet section leader, Shoshana Cohen. Clarinet section leader, Anna McCormick. And clarinet section leader, Katie White. Alto saxophones, our alto saxophone section leader, Emily Serpio. And alto saxophone section leader, Noah Sellers. In the tenor section, Peter Crump. And Rachel Hathaway. When I made this next person section leader, I told him he had to recruit people to his section or I was going to take it away. Because it was just him. But I knew he would, and he got a couple really great people to join with him, and they've been a huge asset this week, and it's all because of his work and effort to make them better. Baritone saxophone section leader, Ben Kelly. Mellophone section leader, Katie Constas. In the trumpet section, Sam Bianchi David. Also trumpet section leader, Teresa Fallon. Trumpet section leader, George Simeon. And anyone who says that marching band is not a contact sport, the trumpet section leader has another one who has been great for the last 2 weeks, but she got nailed with a flag 2 nights ago and has a concussion. So we have to wait for her to get back ready to go and join us when symptoms are gone and she's ready, but she had a great 2 weeks. She's actually in the stands right over there, Megan Burnett. For the baritone section, Emma Anderson. Trombone section leader, Amanda Zoll. Sousaphone section leaders, John Glendy. And Ryan McCormick. Drumline section leader hiding in the back, Soren Helhosky. Two section leaders from the front ensemble, James Hanron and Jackson Kehoe. And three color guard captains hiding over there, Nina DiCarlo, Alyssa Kirk, and Gabby White. And then this year we have 3 drum majors. Those of you who are vets around here, you'll notice 3 drum majors and podiums in different places. Kind of change the dynamic a little bit. So we have 3 great drum majors that spent a week at UMass in August to work on their leadership skills and their conducting. Really brought it back to this group and have done a great job this week. Associate drum major Erin McCormick. Associate drum major Kara Mogan. And head drum major Bridget Conenser. So the first thing that we're going to do is kind of take you through the activities that we've done for the last 2 weeks. I want you to have a sense when you leave here, when you dropped your kids off at noon and picked them up at 9, you have a sense of what we were doing, how we were spending that time, and where we came from 2 weeks ago to where you're going to see at the end of tonight. I think you're going to be pretty shocked, especially those vets, parents who have seen this before. So we're going to start with the horn line on the field. And I'd like to introduce our visual caption head as well as our drill writer, Mr. Ed Devlin.
Hello, everyone. Tonight we're going to do a basic exercise that they started with last week. It's called the figure 8. And it combines a lot of different portions of how they have to move around the field, which changes the directions, different shifts, the stride, how many steps are between each yard line. There's a lot of responsibilities to marching, and they've done a great job with it in the past 10 days. And so we're going to start with the figure 8, facing that end zone, and we'll kind of talk through it. Let's just take 1 8 at a time. So one of the things they have to worry about here is between each yard line there is 8 steps. They have to dress the line going either to the left or to the right. And then also they have coverage of the file, which is from the front, so all the lines. So they have multiple responsibilities. So we're going to take part 2. Next 8. So they have a change there because they were going forward before. Now they've changed to go to their right. They have to think about keeping the upper body flat to the yard line. So when you see them in the drill tonight, they all the time have to be performing to the front. You can't have your body facing this way. It always has to be this way. So we've been working that, making sure that they understand how the upper body stays parallel to the yard line. Take the next 8. So they just did a backup. Backup's a little different because they have to open up the stride. They used to go in forward, like we all move forward all the time. But now you add backup that has to have technique to it, and they have to open up the stride. So sometimes stride is a little bit short, and we don't have the lines dressed. We're still working on getting that a little bit stronger. Next 8. So they had another responsibility. They were backing up that time, keeping their upper body flat parallel to the yard line. So that's a lot, and with the stride. And if you saw, you could tell that some of the shoulders were in parallel. So that's something we got to keep working on, and we'll keep doing that every single rehearsal. Next day counts. And that is fairly simple. It's just a forward. It kind of brings them all back to where we were from the beginning of it to this point. Let's take the next 8. So we had another shift. So you'll see how this all goes into the figure 8. Let's take the next 8. Okay, pretty good. Back up. It came from the shift, went into the back up. Take the next 8. And you'll notice the technique, marching technique for us is that you move your feet straight through like you're on a ski line. The same with the backup. You don't cross because that'll cause balance problems. So that's something that we work on them and develop their technique to be stronger in. Next 8. Okay, so that's the completion of that. We'll take that and run that all continuous. Here we go. Reset back. Just move back a couple of yard lines, please. We're going to do this twice. We're going to do it at this tempo, which is about, what tempo is that? Yeah, we're going to do it at that. And then we're going to take it at one of the tempos in the show, which is about 172. And that's pretty fast. So we'll do it twice, slow tempo, fast tempo. Here we go. You'll stop after the first one. Here we go. Okay, really good job with that. So it's a lot of responsibility, and one of the things that we're really training them to do is to use their eyes. You have to look around you to make sure that you're in form with each other all the time. Okay, just 1 second. We'll take this with 172 with the Dr. Beat. Okay, we're going to take it. Last time. Let's have a great performance of this at 172. Excellent job. Excellent. Thank you very much. Looking forward to a great season. The band is in a great position to have a fantastic year.
As we reset the stage, I'd like to introduce one other staff member who is working as a visual caption head and doing a lot of the warm-ups and doing a lot of the work with the band on the visual. He is a Wakefield High School graduate and graduate of this marching band, Mr. Ryan McNeil. Okay, at this point, I would like to introduce the director of the Color Guard. In Color Guard, you can grab whatever you're grabbing and come and take your stage. She will introduce her staff and run you through a couple Color Guard exercises and what they've been working on. They've actually been working all summer, as well as really hard through the 2 weeks of camp. So, Color Guard Director, Alyssa Grant.
Hi, everyone. So like Tom said, we've been working all summer with our technique and moving underneath our flag work. So today we're going to start off with doing our basic exercise, which is the drop spin. It's a 2-count exercise where the color guard, their flag will go from down and up. And we use this during pre-shows just to kind of get focused because it's such an easy technique for them to do. So this is Brianna. She works with me as well, and she'll be doing this exercise. So the next exercise we'll be doing is called Figure 8, where the flag needs to move through different planes. This helps us when we are building on our figure skills, knowing where each plane is. So next you'll see our rifles. We started this past winter. We had a winter season, which has really helped us out for the fall. So we have a few of the members on rifle this year. We'll also have saber in the show and some swing flags, which are 2 flags that are really big. So Jared will be working with the rifles, as well as Julie, who's not here tonight. She'll just be here on Wednesday. So right now they're going to do an exercise on the rifle. And that is all we have today for this portion of the program. You'll see the color guard more in the show, working through dance, flag, and rifle tonight.
Thank you, Color Guard. You are dismissed. Battery, you can come on up and join us. At this point, I'd like to introduce the percussion caption head, who's also the middle school band director here in Wakefield at the Galvin Middle School, Mr. Michael Murad.
Good evening, welcome. The percussion section of the marching band is divided into two parts. We have the front ensemble, which you see right before me on the front sideline, and we also have the battery percussion, which is the mobile percussion part of the band. So we're going to introduce the staff that work with each section, and we're going to demonstrate an exercise that we do to help us with our show. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the front ensemble teacher. This is Matt Grenna. He's been here this is his 5th year, and we're very excited because on Monday he starts his big boy job. He's going to be a first-year teacher in Holliston. So Matt, welcome.
Hi, thanks so much. Why don't you guys get ready? So this is the front ensemble. We play a variety of orchestral percussion instruments, all of which stationary as opposed to the marching drums that are back in the backfield. So we have keyboards, marimbas, vibraphone, xylophone, as well as some drums, snare, concert bass, gong, as well as a couple of synthesizers. So we're just going to play a quick exercise for you, and I hope you enjoy.
And our battery percussion, you're going to hear an exercise that's going to utilize a couple of the skills that we have in the show, which is our single stroke. We're also going to be using our double stroke roll in this exercise, and each instrument has a different responsibility. The snares are playing on their one surface, but the toms over here, the tenor drums, have 5 drums, so they're going to be moving around the drums through this exercise, as well as playing the same pattern that the snare drums are playing. And the bass drums in the back will be playing unison parts, and they'll also be playing split parts on melodic line between the 5 drums. So this is double, and it will be led by our battery instructor, Chris Lawler. We're really excited. He joined us this winter, and we're really excited to have him on board this fall. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you at all the shows this year.
The first thing we're gonna do for you is we're gonna play for you what we know so far, which is the first 2 parts of the show, about the first 3 minutes of music, which is a huge chunk of music learned for the first 2 weeks of camp. Bridget, podium, please. So we are going to play for you, just standing still, what we know of the show so far. as you go through this, you're going to hear a lot of fun sounds here in the front. You're also going to hear a voiceover, a narration, kind of helping us with our story as we go through. And I think the famous person you're going to hear on your narration has graciously joined us here tonight. So why don't you can try to picture, and you might know who the person is, and we'll take guesses when we're done.
We live in darkness, shunning light. The sun would bring our death. But do we live? We have no pulse, and in our lungs, no breath. Creature of the night, take heart, take flight. You're free now to do what you might. No virtues, no life to live out in strife. Your pleasure will come from the bite.
So there's a basis for the music. It will clearly continue and improve as the season goes, but that's 2 weeks of work on all of that. End of part 1 on the field. End of part 1 on the field, everybody. That's why there are 3 of them. Okay, so we are a marching band, so we need to do the marching part of the band thing. So what happens is the kids get pieces of paper that have measures in the music, the number of counts, and dots. And every kid is assigned a dot. And they have a number, and that is how they learn their spots on the field. They look at their sheets. They know what all the lines on the field mean, all the lines on the spaces. How Ed mentioned how many steps there were between yard lines, all of that. They know how that works. They find their dot, they go to it, and then we do reps of sets. Back and forth, and we chunk, and we put together, and we chunk, and we put together, and we clean, and we make better. And all the things that they do in basics translate to what happens on the field. and what goes into learning all of the drill. So, horns, you are at the end, everyone, you are at the end of part 1. Point to where you go after this. How many counts do you have to get there? 12 counts. Can we do a visual rep on just counts, please? So 12 and stop. Here we go. 12 and stop. Okay, check the form. Make any adjustments you need to make. What's next? Another set of 12, right? So we have 12 and then 12. Do the next set of 12, please. Next set of 12. What's next? Fix the form. Set it. Check the spacing. What's next? Another set of 12.
Are you sure? Because I can't hear you. 12! Go!
Check the form. Good. Go back 3 sets. Put these 3 sets of 12 together. Run it back. Check the form. Run it back. Play it. Playing and moving. 3 sets and stop. 3 sets of 12. 3 sets of 12. Playing and moving. At attention. Go. Check form. Excellent. Relax. Go to opening set. Just to give you an idea, that was 3 sets that we just performed for you. They have learned 36 different sets of drill over the last 2 weeks. Plus all the basics, plus all the music, 36 sets of drill. As just a comparison, my first year, which was 10 years ago, this is my 10th year here, the entire show was 4 pages. The entire show was 34 pages. So that is how far we have come as a group and how hard these kids have worked this week, in these 2 weeks. It's crazy. So, here's what we're going to do. We are going to perform the entire first and second movement twice. You are going to see it once with just the visual, with no music. So this is a way that we practice so that the horn line can really focus on their movement, all the things that Ed talked about, the change of directions, the dressing lines and dressing diags and all of that. And it lets the pit get used to playing outside, playing on the field, and it gives the horn line someone to listen to, and it gives the guard some reps on what they're doing as well. So we're going to do this twice. We're going to do it first with just the visual rep, with no music, and then we'll close the show tonight with everything that we have. Okay, so.
Think about it. What is your sequence? Change of direction. Shoulders. Ready for the tempo changes? Count. Here we go.
of the night, take heart, take flight. You're free now to do what you might. No virtues, no life to live out in strife. Your pleasure will come from the bite. Creature of the night, take heart, take flight. You're free now to do what you might. No virtues, no life to live out in strife. Your pleasure will come from the bite.
Rob Taylor, where are you? Come here. Mr. Taylor is a teacher in Lynn Public Schools and had his band camp today, a day of band camp, and he was able to join us. He's been working with us and doing music. Rob is a graduate of Wakefield High School. It's great to have him on staff, Mr. Rob Taylor. And the wonderful English accent you will hear all summer is our own Miss Julia Boyce. Miss Julia, there you go, thank you. So thank you so much for coming.